No, this is good. This is good. I'm sorry. This is good. This is definitely worth talking about. This is definitely worth talking about. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. You have to let me. This is absolutely worth talking about. Okay. You ready? All right. Let's go. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I'm doing it. We're doing it. So if this bores you, I'm sorry, but this is too good. So, newly minted proud communist Ryan Knight has some very interesting news for us here. And even Max the dog is extremely interested in this story. So hello, Max. So Ryan Knight has been combing through his 360,000 followers. Last time I looked, it was like he had 362. So he's lost quite a bit. But so Ryan Knight has been combing through his 360,000 followers and found out, he stumbled upon this breaking news story here. That so I just noticed that 2 progressives in Congress have unfollowed me, but all credit to Ilhan and Ayanna Pressley, who have not. It is a good thing, M-, not a bad thing, M-, to want progressives to take a bolder approach against corporate Democrats who are standing in the way of progress. So now it needs to be understood that just like a month ago, Ryan Knight was not attacking corporate Democrats, but attacking progressive Democrats over the force the vote bullshit, right? So, and then he follows up. So I assume that everyone starts laughing at him because the guy's kind of an idiot. So he follows up with, y'all can laugh if you want, but when these accounts follow so few people, I think it shows who is open to dissent and who is fighting back against the establishment and who is not. Okay, all right. Okay, so he also happened after the Force the Vote campaign. So put 2 and 2 together. Thank you, Ryan, for clarifying that. Okay. So let me get the story straight here. And it goes on, but let me pause here for a moment. So Ryan Knight attacks the fuck out of presumably Rashida Tlaib and AOC, who AOC was literally being attacked every single day by Jimmy Dore and his fans, including Ryan Knight, over something that she could not do. So again, this is my personal experience here, right? When I debated Nico House, who was one of the architects of the Force the Vote movement, he told me during our debate that AOC and the squad had unlimited power and could have gotten anything that they wanted. Now go back and watch the debate. You'll see him say that verbatim. You'll see people like Jimmy Dore, Ryan Knight, Brianna Joy Gray were saying the same thing. Progressives can do anything. All they have to do is uphold the speakership vote, and they could get a rover on Europa if they wanted to, and by the end of 2021, right? They could have gotten anything done. All they had to do was not vote for Nancy Pelosi, and they would have won the world. They would have won the lottery, and everyone, like, world hunger would have been solved. Okay, in these people's minds, right? And so AOC and Rashida Tlaib probably saw that Ryan Knight was in on this dumb grift, and were like, "What? Unfollow. This guy's a little crazy." Right? And I think that that's really funny. But then it goes on. So, Emma Vigeland decides to weigh in on this situation. This dude centers himself more than the Krasensteins. His grift is almost as obvious too. And then Ryan Knight, goes on, okay? If this makes you feel better about yourself, awesome! Please just apply the same energy to the politicians in our government who have actual power. Okay? So again, is Ryan Knight going after corporate Democrats in Force the Vote? No. He was attacking AOC, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, and so on, right? He was not going after Joe Manchin. Now, he goes after a lot of these corporate Democrats in all kinds of contexts, but specifically related to Force the Vote, which he specifically cited here, right? He specifically said it was because of Force the Vote, right? So if you're spending a month or 2 months attacking AOC, while people that are associating with you and in your same People's Party movement that he eventually distanced himself from are attacking her, then you, again, if you have 360,000 followers and you're one of the most popular accounts attacking AOC, I wouldn't blame her for blocking you if that were constitutionally acceptable, right? So again, the idea that he's just going out there and just making fun of and attacking anyone, who is just like acknowledging the fact that this guy's having like a midlife crisis live on Twitter. And I want to say that, like, again, like, I understand, like, a lot of people are making fun of Ryan Knight because he was an Elizabeth Warren supporter last year, and now he's like a full-fledged communist. That's not my problem with Ryan Knight. We all have political evolutions. We all have, you know, growth and moments of growth. But what we don't all have is, it's the idea that, like, oh, I just read my first book on communism, therefore I should be the leader of the communist movement in America. That's the kind of self-entitlement, like, ego masturbation going on with Ryan Knight that is the really problematic part. It's great. If you just read a book about Lenin and now you're a communist, that's awesome, dude. I'm happy for you, right? But you should not be in the leadership position of any communist organization. You still got a lot to learn. Know your place. You got a podcast, buddy. It's a popular podcast. Do your popular podcasting and have fun with it. But you should not be trying to commandeer any levers of power with that kind of position. Give it a couple more years, read a couple more books, and then maybe try to run for office or something, right? Like, run for office, see what happens, Ryan, right? Maybe you win. Maybe you get in there and maybe you can force the vote, right? But at this current point, right, the idea that he acts as if he's got any sort of leverage and he can command AOC or Rashida Tlaib around and say, if you don't do what I tell you to do, you're a fake progressive. The idea that he thinks that that's acceptable, I'm sorry, it reeks of main character syndrome. And honestly, it's extremely hilarious. So thank you for sending that to me. I really appreciate it. My God, that was funny. My Lord. I just, Disco? What's on Disco? Oh God, wait, breaking news update, breaking news. So, I'm told that Ryan Knight's Patreon has interesting tiers. So we've got official patron, as opposed to an unofficial patron. We've got all content patron, and we've got benefactor. I don't know why, like, is that a bad thing? I don't understand. I don't get it. Benefactor, what is that? Is it just that he has a Patreon? Because I don't necessarily mind. I don't understand, folks. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why was this linked to me? I don't understand. He changed them? What were they? What were they before? Were they something? Alright, someone find the screenshot. Someone find the screenshot. Someone find the screenshot. Hold on. Alright, we gotta do some detective work here. Ryan Knight Patreon tiers. Let's just do Ryan Knight Patreon. Let's see what we can find. Photos. Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay. All right, y'all. We got it. All right. So, apparently before today, before he changed them, Ryan Knight officially had official comrade, all content comrade, own the means of production comrade. I love it. Oh. So when did he change him to this? And when did he change him back? Now that's the real question. When did this come and when did it go? Those are the questions that we got to figure out here. Again, I have no problem if someone has a Patreon, but again, if they're going to like change their whole aesthetic every like 2 months, I mean, it gets a little weird. And again, this is one of the things with Ryan Knight that I want to like genuinely discuss. It's like an actual point here. Is that Ryan Knight is someone that does not react well to criticism. Now, like, for me, when I get people, like, spewing garbage at me, I just ignore it, you know? And if it's, like, an actual critique, I'll listen to it, I'll accept it, and I'll, you know, bring it into my commentary. Ryan Knight, on the other hand, right, has no sense of humor, right? I've never seen him make a joke, right? I've never seen him make a joke ever in my life. Now, again, I might just be missing it. If he's made a joke before, let me know and link it to me, right? So, but he reads everything as like hatred, but then he responds to it all the time, right? And he kind of like puts himself into this feedback loop of responding to hate, right? Or what he perceives as hate, and then elevating what he perceives as hate, but then it's not actually hate and people just read it as genuine critique. And it's just like, it's just hilarious, man. It's just, it's extremely fun to like watch. And again, this is what happens when you've got 360,000 followers and you've got like a midlife crisis in public view. And again, I have no problem with him. If he wants to be a communist, that's great, right? Like, being a communist is good, and he should continue to be a communist. I think he should, you know, drift more toward anarchism, but that's just me. But also, if you've got this high amount of followers, you need to have to learn to grow a thick skin, and that's something that Ryan is kind of incapable of doing. But thank you for linking that to me, because it was honestly really funny. Oh, this is even better. All right, this is even better. Check this out. So I'm just on his feed. He retweeted his reply to Emma Vigeland. That's really funny. Now, again, I do this kind of stuff too, but also I've only got like, can I round up? How many followers do I have? Can I round up? How do I round up? I'll round up to 3,000, right? 2,700. I'll round up to 3,000. That's worth rounding up, right? I'm allowed. Anyway, that was really funny.